Hello YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Kevin and this is the Red Pilling channel. Um, so again, my channel is called Red Pilling because I am red pilled. I'm getting more red pilled by the day. So I'm going to ask, are you red pilled yet? So this is a new video that will be discussing the Trump versus Musk feud. And as I mentioned in my last video, this is a continuation with the big beautiful bill, but now this is more focused in a separate video, a Trump versus Musk feud, because there's a lot of divide again. So who's right and who's wrong? Well, Musk has some concerns, and I'll be nice enough to say he has some points. This bill has a lot of pork in it, I guess, but I feel like more of that can be taken care of at another bill. And I trust Trump, he will do that. I don't believe he's stupid, and I voted for Trump, not Musk. I did. I do like some of the stuff that Musk did in his Doge, particularly exposing the fraud and his thing on free speech and stuff like that, but Musk needs to stand back, and his little temper tantrums. He threw a temper tantrum when Trump being opposed to H-1B visas, and now he threw a tantrum. Now he's throwing a tantrum to Trump, and now going to. It seems he's turned on Trump. So either this is theater, making the media talk about it, or he might have actually turned on Trump here, saying that Trump's a part of the Epstein stuff. Really? No, I don't think people are buying that. And plus, even if again, we don't know, it's pretty obvious Trump wasn't on the island. And if he's on the island, I won't vote again. Ever again. Because that means I can't trust anybody if that's the case. So that's how unlikely I think that is. So I think Musk is trying to get me to talk about something so that way when it's exposed, if it does get released, it shows he's not in there, and then the media will be outraged because he got media talking about it now. Or Musk is being a big baby, petty, and now turned on Trump, calling him a trafficker basically now. So it's like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, he's mad. What's he mad about? And Musk's a little hypocritical about this bill because he claims there's not enough spending cuts either, which I kind of agree there isn't, not to the level we want. Because the people want the spending to be back to COVID levels, and it's not pre-COVID levels, and it's not, and that's what people are worried about. Now, my senator of Wisconsin, Ron Johnson, he's really opposed to this bill, which I can understand. He's always been big with the debt, but I think by not voting for it, he's voting against the middle class. And the cuts that are in there, even if it's not all of it, and it's not all in the numbers he wants, you're not going to get any of it by voting no for it. So you might as well vote yes, and then talk more. So, but yeah, Trump needs to distance himself from Musk. I think Musk, he's too full of himself. I think Musk being too much in his inner circle, I don't think it's hurting his popularity because he's still highly approved by Trump's base, and he still voted. But I do think it might be hurting Trump's image a little bit with Musk being around too much, because Musk, he's a billionaire and all he cares about is money too. And it seems to me Trump, he didn't like this either when Trump said, fine, you want more cuts, and let's cut more of your solar subsidies. And he didn't seem to like that. So you want more spending cuts, but not solar for the green energy stuff. So it's like, I don't know. And then, but when he opposes that, but then when you want to cut more on things, it makes you wonder, it gives the left excuse that he just wants to cut stuff for the poor. Not saying that's true, but I'm just saying it makes it harder for me to defend him when he does things like that. So I don't, acts like that. So I don't know. Now I'm not saying he's wrong on everything, because he uncovered Doge and he thinks there's a lot in there, but so I don't know. Okay, but I think Musk is being petty, and he needs to act. He needs to act. He needs, if maybe this is theater, and I guess we'll see. But I think even if they make up, I think Trump still needs to distance himself from him, because I don't think he's helping Trump's image, in my opinion. And I think it makes it easier. He might be trying to control Trump, and he can't. And I'm not saying Trump's perfect. I think the problem I have with Trump really is who he endorses. He endorses too many rhinos. He's too generous with his endorsements, and then we get those bad Republicans. I mean, yeah, they might vote a lot with us, but a lot of times they don't. They're not voting for a lot of his agendas. So and it kind of hurts the MAGA movement a little bit, because they're not really MAGA. You just bring those grifters by doing that aren't really MAGA at all. And that's what Richard Barris, a pundit I like to follow, that talks about that a lot, tells me. So for the has been telling us is that they just see MAGA without Trump fake, because it really is just traditional conservatism without any meaning to it. So they don't trust it. So that's why if Vance is the president, he has to rebrand. He needs to be his own man and needs to make it MAGA. To me, you're MAGA or bust at this point, because so that's my thoughts. But Musk needs to grow up. You need to grow up, man. You need to grow up. Now, I don't want this country to go bankrupt anybody, but I think Musk has bad political instincts, terrible political instincts, bad optics. If he ran for president, he would lose so many states. He'd have no shot at winning, because he's not from the United States originally, so he can't run for president. But I'm just saying, if he ran for office, I don't know how well he would do. But sometimes I think he thinks everything evolves around him, and it doesn't. Trying to put this, if I didn't participate, Trump would not have won without me. See, that's the problem. I think he would have won without Musk, because voters voted for Trump, not Musk. They might have voted for Musk in the sense that they wanted him to cover some stuff, but they did not vote for Musk in regards to migration. They voted for Trump because of migration, because of his issues on tackling the most important issues. And Musk is kind of out of touch on some of those issues. He's good on free speech, but he's bad on the immigration issue, and he's bad on some of the spending stuff. Because, spending needs to be cut. Wasteful spending needs to be the message. When you just say cut spending, voters tend to think you want to cut their entitlements. Say wasteful spending. That needs to be the messaging. In some ways, I feel like, here in Wisconsin, it was in April already. There was an election, a Supreme Court election in Wisconsin, and the conservative lost, and he did a lot of involving to help us win, and we got stomped. And I think because Musk was way too open here, and it ticked off the left and energized left like they never would in a off-year election like that. So yeah, I think he thinks everything revolves around him, and it cost us. And he has bad instincts. Even some conservatives don't like necessarily Musk either. And it's so, yeah, if Musk wants to help give money, I guess, for candidates he supports, America first, fine. But he needs to stay behind the scenes, because you're just hurting us that way. And, unfortunately, you're not too popular. You're the world's richest man. You're not going to be popular by people. So you've done some great stuff, I guess, in regards to innovation and, believing in free speech, and all that. You kind of separate yourself, but you're wrong on a lot of issues that the left hate you because they think you want them all to die, and the right, well, the right doesn't. A lot of the far MAGA doesn't like you because you're not MAGA enough on some of the key issues. And I think he supports cheap labor too. So it's like, yeah. So anyway, I don't know what else to say on that. But Musk needs to Trump needs to distance himself from Musk. I think he can give some advisement, but take what he says with a grain of salt, because don't want Musk to be influencing you. And the problem is we need real America first. And I think a lot of them are Freedom Caucus types, but honestly, some of these libertarians like Thomas Massey, they need to be primaried. They're just not good on the issues that matter, that we need. And Musk, I think, wants a lot of those type of Republicans, and they can't win elections. So, and we need Trump's version of MAGA, not Musk's view. We need one and Trump's MAGA is America First, natalist, immigration restrictionism, pro-manufacturing, sovereignty, and that's his policy. So that needs to be the priority, and the economy is important. They always say the economy stupid, yes, but it has to be Trump's version of the economy, and that's what won him the election. And you have to have smart optics. Smart optics wins elections, and living here in Wisconsin, it matters here. If you have the wrong optics, Republicans get stomped, and they never seem to learn. So anyway, that's what all I have for today on this. If you so I'll ask again, are you red pilled yet? So if you like this video, please like, comment if you have anything to have any thoughts on this. If you like this channel, please subscribe, hit the bell for notification. The red pilling out.